This is the guinea. Well, good morning, everyone. My name is Kevin Brubaker, Mayor of the City of Elyria, and I want to welcome everybody to what I think is one of the most important events and opportunities that we've had in many years here in the City of Elyria. Probably one of the largest, if not the largest, multi-use division or development here in the City of Elyria over at Reeser Point. We are glad and happy to partner with DBR Commercial Real Estate LLC, owned and operated by Dan and Danny Reeser, as well as Ryan Holmes, who is here with us today as well, in a partnership to bring townhouses, and they will talk about that here shortly, townhouses and retail development to the Reeser Point crossing. Many of you know that has been set for a number of years, several years, 3 or 4 years, waiting for something spectacular to happen. And I think today's announcement will allow us to make that announcement. When you're able to partner with somebody like DBR Real Estate and Ryan Holmes, and I can speak personally on Ryan Holmes because I had one built a few years ago, you're bringing something very good to the City of Elyria. It's going to benefit the City of Elyria as residents. It's going to benefit the City of Elyria from a commercial standpoint, and it's going to benefit greatly to the City of Elyria, our Elyria City School District, and our superintendent is here with us this morning as well. So when we talk about Reeser Point, and 4.5 years ago when this project took off, there are a lot of different discussions on what was going to take place there. And I appreciate the leadership of Mayor Holly Brenda, who started and led this through her end of her administration, along with Mr. Reeser, and we got to the point where we were able to develop this property, and then it's kind of sat stagnant for the last couple years. And the original thought was making that commercial, light industrial in that area. And over the last couple of months, actually within the last few weeks, we've had further conversations in regards to what is the best use for this property. And through our planning process that's been going on through community development, one of the things that came out was we needed more housing for different aspects of our community, as well as retail, additional retail in our community, and things that were going to bring jobs. And I think as Ryan Holmes and Mr. Reeser kind of explained what our project is looking like here, I think it brings both of those to the City of Elyria. When you're talking about 422 units, and you're talking about retail, and you're talking about additional retail space up on Broad Street, you're talking about a major investment in a neighborhood of just shy of $200 million. And outside of this project, I'm not sure in the last 15 or 20 years, if at all, if we've had something as significant as that. So at this time, I'd like to introduce and have Mr. Dan Reeser, the proprietor of DBR Real Estate, Commercial Real Estate LLC, to kind of talk about how we got to here, and then we'll hear shortly from Ryan Holmes. Dan?
Good morning, everybody. I'm Dan Reeser, for those people who don't know me, from DBR Commercial Realty. My son, Danny, who's also here today, is also part of this project. You know, the last 5 years has been very, very tough on this project. Everybody has an opinion as to what the best use is for this project. And sometimes, you know, the old phrase of thank goodness for unanswered prayers. You know, we wanted to get this thing developed 4 years ago and just weren't able to get it done because of multiple reasons. And Holly Brenda in the beginning, where she had visions of things to go in this development, to having it kind of be stagnant for 4 years, and then having Kevin Brubaker become the mayor. Significant changes in the community for Elyria for those two events to be happening. I can tell you without any doubt in anybody's mind, if this guy was not the mayor at this time, this project would not be happening at this time. Kevin brings, Mr. Mayor brings a lot of confidence to a lot of business people in this community, surrounding communities, and also community developers that are from around the country. You got to have confidence when you're going to invest this kind of money into a project that you're going to be able to see it through. And with Kevin's team and his administration, has made it very easy for us to be able to work together. It's one of the reasons I worked extremely hard to help Kevin get into office, because I knew what he was going to bring. Being that we've been friends for well over 30 years, made it very easy. When this project came up and we started evaluating what was the best use, all we keep hearing about, you know, in the housing industry is a lack of housing. the lack of people being able to buy houses selling for way over asking price, just no inventory, and it's not just unique to Elyria, but all across the country. There's no inventory, right? So at the end of the day, we started thinking about what we could do to help solve that problem on a smaller scale here in Elyria. And I started inquiring to Ryan Homes, which I'm partners with them on several other projects. And I went to them and talked to Nick from Ryan Homes and had a discussion about it. He ran it up the flagpole and came back with a quick response to me, which was just amazing, that we could do 422 units in this project to provide 422 houses in townhouse formats that would make a difference and provide housing. That's one of the first prerequisites to businesses moving to this town, to development taking place, to the Midway Mall, to all kinds of development taking place, is having housing that's available for people to move here. And we all know that problem exists, that we don't have housing. With this project, we're now going to have housing, and Ryan Holmes will talk a little bit more about the details, but the three-story, three-bedroom townhouses that will fit a number of spots for a lot of families and a lot of kids and a lot of retired families, and I can't think of any class of citizens that it doesn't fit. It's very rare when you do a development where the stars align and everything clicks together, everything comes together perfectly to the point where this makes so much sense. And there hasn't been a single person in this community that we've talked privately with that didn't think this was just a tremendous opportunity. As you know, we also have additional on the drawing. It'll show additional retail available. That's going to be primarily used to drive more restaurants and food service to this town as well. Because along with people, you need places to go. We don't want people always going to Avon or going to Westlake and other places to have dinner. We want them to stay right here, have dinner, have whatever other services they need to have in this community, and be able to not leave our town. That's the bottom line with this development. We also have, on the drawing, you'll see a proposed fire station location, which, Mr. Brubaker and myself really had very few conversations about, but I wanted to make sure that location was carved out and made available for their projected report that they received. And I'm here to say immediately that, with this project, everything's aligning perfectly, and, our intention is to donate the property for the fire station so the city of Elyria can benefit with a location that's where the consultant said it needs to go and not cost the city any additional money and funding that they need to have. Now, that's a pretty bold statement because that property is probably worth close to $2 million. But that's what we want to do. That's our commitment to this community and what we believe in this administration and their team of people, to get things done. And we're very excited, and it's been a long time coming, and this is a project that basically was born probably 3-4 weeks ago when we first had the conversations about it. And it just fits so well that, is perfect. You notice on the drawing as well, there's a couple of strip centers built in the middle of the townhouse community. That's going to have different types of services available so that people that live here can walk to a store. There's going to be sidewalks on both sides of the street. It's going to lead them to Chestnut Commons by foot. It's going to lead them to the restaurants by foot. It's going to lead them to other places by foot. It's going to help keep these people right there. And, we'll get the people who will say, oh, what about the traffic? Well, if we built 25 commercial buildings here, manufacturing plants, we'd have a lot more traffic than what's going to be here. And we'd have a bunch of employees here, and that's fine. But this project, that project would have been $25 million, maybe $30 million worth of real estate, structures. This project is going to be somewhere between $150 and $200 million. When you relay that into the tax dollars it's going to pay for the schools and potentially pay for the city, it's a tremendous difference. It's 5 times. So, the math is a little bit different when it comes to residential versus commercial, but this makes this project that much more perfect. There's just not been any negative sides of this that I've heard from anybody, and I think if once this comes together and Ryan does the job that they normally do, it's going to be beautiful. It's going to have a community feel. It's going to have all the services they need, and it's going to give us housing for other businesses to move to town. And that's the benefit we have here. So without that, I'd like to bring up Nick and Emily from Ryan Homes and let them describe the townhouses in a little bit more detail.
Dan, this project is really interesting for us because what we like to look at now is where do people workshop play? And all the places that we want to build homes have to have convenience, which Elyria uniquely has great highway access. This project in general, being able to walk to Chestnut Commons, all of the interesting things that we know Dan and Danny are going to get put together in this community makes us very excited about being a part of it. This is innovative, it's bold, it's exciting, and I think it's going to open the eyes to a lot of people to come into Elyria in general. I mean, until we started working more with Dan and some of the other developers out this way, downtown Elyria is darling. There's a lot of great little places that once you get out here and you get into the community and you start to understand it's geographically large and there's a lot of neat places. I mean, we go to Smitty's for lunch probably once a quarter. We go over to Foundry, and I find myself bringing my family out this way and I'm gonna get ice cream in the summer. So this project in general, working with Dan and Danny, has been very fun. He's got a lot of energy. There's very few people that have the energy and the resources to do a project like this, and we're just happy to be a part of it. So thank you, gentlemen, for that. Nick, do you want to talk about the townhomes?
Yeah. First off, thanks to Dan and Danny. Very excited for this project. Just the walkability is the first thing. Townhome we're proposing, like a 3-bedroom, 3-story, a mix of anywhere from 3 to 7 attached would be the proposal right there. I'm very excited about it and look forward to getting this underway.
Emily and Nick, appreciate your help and looking forward to working with you guys close. You'll notice on some of the townhouses, there's a lot of stone, a lot of brick. They're not going to be these lower end townhouses that you see some places. You're going to be the upper end, and they're going to be very quality built and have, like we say, locations. There's a lot of people from Turnus to Taylor Street to Sugar Lane to East Broad Street that work and go to work there. They're going to be excited about having the opportunity to come live close by where they work. Everybody's cognizant of energy cost and fuel cost and gas cost. Now they're going to be able to be close to where they are. This is going to be such an exciting project. I'm very excited about it because of the fact that it's going to make a very big imprint on the city of Elyria. And it's going to allow Kevin Brubaker and his team to be able to prosper even more and show people what they're all about. So I appreciate the opportunity to be able to explain this.
One of the things that Dan and I talked about was on that plan there to open up the opportunity for additional families to purchase and to move in there was, and I'm grateful that he took that upon himself, was these pocket parks. I don't know if we can say enough about that. Those 2 little pocket parks there will allow families to move in and have places within the development for their kids to go. So we're very thankful for that. And I know I'm not going to burst the bubble, but there will probably be another announcement later this week from the county in regards to another project in these housing units and the ability of what potentially is going to happen here in Elyria here later this week. This plays into that part about businesses looking for and having the opportunity for their employees to be very close to where they work. And having additional housing centered in Elyria with potential taxpayers living in Elyria, working in Elyria, that's really what we're looking to do. So we're grateful for both DBR Real Estate and Ryan Homes for partnering with the city. We have a lot of work to do to get to the point of getting folks moved in there, but we're committed to doing that. So I want to thank everyone for coming out today. If you have any questions afterwards, Mr. Reeser and folks from Ryan Homes will be up here available to talk, and we look forward to the future with Reeser Point Crossing. Thank you.